Greetings, kindred. Wow, it's been an intense couple of months, the beginning of 2022. But yeah, I still got really positive vibes about it all though, you know. I mean, obviously there's a lot going on at the moment, globally, as usual. But, you know, even though I'm seeing this with the planets, I'm seeing like the escalation of negativity, there's so much positivity here as well to be had. Do you know what I mean? So I'm recording this on the 1st of March. Now, you will notice that I didn't put out a video at the full moon on the 16th of February, and that's because a few days beforehand I sprained my ankle. And I did actually write an article because I was a bit uncomfortable to do a podcast, and as I was posting up that article, my laptop crashed and died. So it really hasn't been my month, you know. We lost our cat on Saturday as well. We've been, you know, pretty emotional about that. So it's just been one thing after another actually for the last couple of months. But anyway, I did actually find the article I was posting up to my website in my drafts folder. I didn't realise it had saved in my drafts. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that still. You know, you may want to look back to what I wrote at that time at the full moon. I mean, I know we had this mad grand cross going on at the time, which was pretty intense. But I really do feel things are lightening up now. Or beginning to, and yeah, obviously, you know, there's a lot of hype going on out there still, and we're seeing that with this T-square actually. But anyway, before I get into that, let's get into the new moon and the new moon, where the new moon will begin. So the new moon will begin actually in the sign of Aquarius in the true lifetime sky. Now, Western will put it in Pisces, but in true astronomy, it will actually occur in Aquarius at 14 degrees. And the new moon will begin at 17:34 in the GMT time zone on the 2nd of March, at 12:34 in the EDT time zone on the 2nd of March, and at 4:34 in the AEDT time zone on the 3rd of March. Now, as the new moon begins, she will be at 14 degrees conjunct the sun at 14 degrees, but also in conjunction will be Jupiter at 16 degrees. Now, as much as Jupiter can exaggerate and make things seem a lot bigger than what they are, and this can be on a humanitarian scale because, you know, Aquarius is the sign of humanity or the humanitarian. And, you know, Jupiter can be working two ways here. He's either exaggerating the picture or he's helping us to see the bigger picture. It really depends on where we are at with our state of mind or our state of emotion. You know, because we do have Chiron here, who is the, Chiron is the wounded healer. He is the one that shows us our deep, deep wounds, you know. And Chiron is actually in sextile to the goddess Juno, who's at 11 degrees in Capricorn. So, you know, we are really all going through this healing process of coming back to ourselves and developing the self-confidence that we need to restructure our lives, to move forward as individuals. You know, taking all the traditional values that are good, we can take those forward, but those that are not good, we can leave behind. And that can be, you know, mentally, emotionally, physically, or even spiritually. And because we have this T-square with the nodes and Saturn and Mercury, who are both in conjunction at 19 degrees in Capricorn, I just feel, wow, there's a lot of solving that can be done here when it comes to healing, and I really do feel it's kind of self-sabotaging in the way where there is a lot of stuff coming out, maybe regarding conflict or disagreements. It is a very intense time with this T-square, but I feel that what seems negative right now, or what seems pretty dark, can bring to light a lot of healing. So, and I say that because they're both at 19 degrees, and that's a really good number. It's really good for creativity. It's really good number for children. And it's a very beautiful creative energy. It gives off a positive vibration. So I feel whatever is being escalated or blown out of proportion is all kind of exposing itself to those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. So I would say be very observant. Don't jump on bandwagons right now. Just keep a close eye on things. Because, the drama, there's been one drama after another over the last couple of years. It's like panic attack after panic attack after panic attack, if we allow ourselves to get entangled in it all. And that's not to say, we don't take these things seriously, but we are aware that there's been a lot of hype out there. And, we just have to be aware of that and not jump to conclusions, or, just look into things yourself, because there is a lot of information here. It's like an overload of information, but it's all kind of like, it's not quite all come to light. Not for everybody. So I do still feel, there's a lot of exposure going on. And, there is going to be a lot of tension. It's going to continue to be high vibe. But I feel that there's so many connections now. I feel March is the month where we start to move forward in a more positive way, or in a more constructive way. Although it doesn't mean to say there won't be no destructiveness there as well. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes things have to come down to be rebuilt. We just need to make sure that everything that's happening is happening for the good. And I don't mean that with what's going on in the present circumstances when it comes to, the Western world right now. I'm just talking about on a humanitarian level. There's still stuff being solved that, before we get wrapped up in new hypes or new contentions, there's still stuff from the past being solved. And even though it's all connected, there is a little bit of a gap there that I'm seeing, with this gap in the stellium that's still there. And, this is a breaking down of traditional values, but like I said, holding on to the traditions that are good, that are solid, that, are for just causes. And Jupiter is bringing a lot of spiritual values into this new moon. I just feel that a lot of us are finding peace in some form or way, while others are still healing. And, the new moon is also in sextile to Uranus, who's at 12 degrees in Aries. And I feel that's pretty positive as well, because that means we can free ourselves up to move forward. I just feel this is the beginning now of a new way of building our lives. There is going to be dramatic ends to certain situations, but, there will be this rebuilding of the new. But, like I've always said, we have to make sure that it's for the good of humanity. It's got to be for the good of our Mother Earth and everybody that resides on her. So that's all I really wanted to say, but regardless of what's going on in the world right now, I'm seeing all this positive, all this beautiful energy coming in that's going to reconnect us with the natural, all the things of natural sources, of organic living. There's lots of opportunities coming in. We have to be careful that we don't miss out on those opportunities. And like I said, Jupiter conjunct our Sun and Moon in Aquarius. This is like, again, another awakening moment. I mean, we're still in the energies of the eclipses that occurred in Taurus and Ophiuchus last year, November, December, so we're going into like the 3rd month now, or the 4th month maybe, since that happened at the beginning of December. We're kind of going 4 months into that eclipse now. So we're really coming towards the tail end of that energy of earth and ether. And ether can be very, like where we don't get a clear vision. It's a bit wavy. The ether energy can be a bit wavy. So we have to follow our instincts, and our eyes can deceive us. Do you know what I mean? In that element of ether, just the same as in water, our eyes can deceive us. So when it comes to air though, and Aquarius is an air sign, that's a clear picture. So, with Pallas coming into conjunction with Chiron in Pisces again, our vision can be distorted. But Pisces is a very psychic sign. So sometimes that psychicness is too much to ignore. But we mustn't over-dramatize that energy or, become too intense or too emotional about it. We just need to keep moving forward. We need to strong up in a way and see it that, new beginnings can be a beautiful thing. New beginnings can be a negative thing. It really depends on how strong we stand in our values, how strong we stand in our strength, and how strong we are going to be standing together. So this is all about coming into oneness now. Not all of humanity will come into oneness, but we're not here to carry people as an individual, but as a collective. The more we come together, is the stronger the energy will be to manifest, good things. So yes, it looks like there's going to be some dramatic ends to certain situations, but I just feel this is going to be for the good of humanity. So let's watch this space over the next 2 weeks. Deep breaths, and, whatever little prayers you can send out or meditations. But most importantly, stay authentic to yourself. Stay in oneness with yourself. And, I shall talk to you again at the full moon. And up until that point, I am wishing you all peace and much love. Take care.